The delegation, is that on parks though?
Bucks,
Not
yeah.
public works. Okay, because I thought I'd have to cover for you and then I'm going, I don't see it anymore. That's good. Thank you, Carolyn. I don't think I'd make it through one meeting, never mind two.
I better be quiet.
I'm just waiting for Joe.
It's live now.
Are we live? Okay. So good evening. We'd like to, or thank you for taking part in the Public Works and Environmental Services Committee meeting being held today, Tuesday, July 20th, 2021, 5 o'clock exactly. Being held electronically and transmitted via council chambers located at 39 South Shore Road, Lake Cowichan, BC, as per Ministerial Order M192. And we'd like to start off by thanking the Subauset First Nation for allowing us to conduct business on their unceded territory. And so I looking for introduction of any late items, please. Okay, so seeing none, we're looking for approval of the agenda then. Councillor Austin, seconded by Mayor Day. So, sorry. No, nothing, okay. So ongoing items still being addressed would be the community cleanup. So we'll send that over to, is Jazz there? There he is. Would you like to speak on that, our superintendent? You're muted.
Sorry.
There we go.
Sorry, Lorna, I had missed the question. Can you repeat that?
Oh, sorry, yes. So the community cleanup.
Is that for the, I haven't done much on it yet, so.
Yeah, I think that was the one that we were gonna try to coincide with the river cleanup, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't done anything on that one so far. We'll have to
Okay.
get it figured out in the near future.
Okay, Councillor Sandu, I think your hand was up, or were you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Could we just have something, because August, we've got enough time with August, our August meeting. If we have something come back and then to our Public Works August meeting, would that work?
Yeah, we can get something done for the next one.
so the community cleanup is on, was it September the 12th? I'm trying to read lips. Yep, okay. Mayor Day was next.
Yeah, I just found the outline of what they did in Duncan back in Earth Day, so I forwarded it to the CAO, and I guess we can leave it up to staff to figure out how much of that they want to integrate, because it could be a little bit different now, because in Duncan when they did theirs, it was like COVID, and it was sort of like stay apart and do it, but we might be able to do something a little different by then, I'm sure. So.
Perfect. And Councillor McGonigal.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Nice to see you back in the chair. I think we are looking at some sort of drop-off point, et cetera, when we do the cleanup, similar to what we did a number of years ago when we did our public cleanup and just had a drop-off point and perhaps coordinated different teams going through different neighborhoods just for the neighborhood cleanup. So we can have a look at that, just a drop-off spot and maybe some garbage bags, et cetera. Look forward to the report.
Great. Councillor Austin.
I was going to say this might be a good time too for people to connect. When you say teams going through neighborhoods, it's a good time to connect with neighbors for emergency planning for the fall, for power outages and things like that. So this might be a good time to do that as well. That's just a thought.
That's a good idea. So we'll leave that to our superintendent then to come back at the next meeting.
I know how much he likes to write reports.
Okay, so then we're going on to the transit shelter status, and the one outside Fields looks fantastic. So if you'd like to give us an update, please, Jazz?
The one at Fields is completed, other than we still got to install a garbage can there. We didn't put in lighting as of yet. That'll be maybe a possibility for next year, or we're gonna reposition the light on the pole right next to it. We can maybe turn it, and that should light up that shelter better. And the bus pullover, I just got the final engineered drawings today, and they'll be going into BC Transit and the ministry for approval.
That's the one across from, sorry, the one across from the grocer.
That's right, yes.
And so the one outside Fields, it's being relocated somewhere or just taken out?
It's gonna be taken out. Where we're gonna take it, we don't know yet.
Yeah, okay. Any questions for the superintendent? No? Oh, Mayor Day?
Yeah, I just had a quick question. There's some memorial benches underneath the wooden shelter. Do we contact folks when we're moving those to other locations, or are we going to leave those there?
They'll be most likely moved, because that was one of the whole reasons we couldn't, people were complaining about trying to get scooters and baby buggies and stuff through there. So if we move the shelter, then there's no protection for the benches on the backside, or somebody stepping off the concrete pad or something.
Mayor McGowan. Sorry,
You almost demoted me.
Counselor, almost a moment, eh? I'm definitely not back in the saddle. Counselor McGonigal.
Thank you very much. And you are not wrong. I was an acting mayor for a little
You
bit,
were.
so you're fine. So
That's my first one.
yeah, we'll give that one to you. Just a
There you
thought
go.
on the replacement or the repurposing of that shelter. Perhaps it could be utilized in one of our parks as a shaded area, and the benches moved to that area as well for cover. Just a thought.
Anyone else? No, we're okay. Okay, so we have no delegations and representations, and we have no correspondence. So we are looking for verbal comment from the public on a subsequent item on the agenda. Maximum of 3 minutes per speaker and maximum time allotted 15 minutes. You can phone your questions in at 250-749-6681 or email your questions to general@lakecowichan.ca, and we'll return at 5:10. I had to check and they do have a GIF for Krusty the Clown.
I remember Krusty the Clown.
Yeah, he's a freaky one. Okay, so are we all back or? I think we're just looking for Jazz. There we go. Okay, so we're moving on then to Superintendent of Public Works report.
Madam Chair, do you want to ask about?
Oh,
Then-
yes, were there any phone calls or emails?
None at all.
They're all there by premonition. See, this is why we can't go away for the summer and take it off because I'd need retraining.
Yeah.
So we need the Public Works report for June of 2021, please.
Okay, so for what we've done in the past month, we've been doing some upgrades on the road going to our sewer outfall down to the river. It was overgrown and some of the weather had rutted up the road pretty badly. We weren't able to drive down there anymore, so we've fixed up that most of the way. Still needs a little bit more work. When we find some time, we'll finish it off. Sanitary outfall annual inspection report has been completed and sent into the ministry. Catch basins and culverts, it's ongoing cleaning and maintaining that when we find time. We're doing some road and sidewalk repairs right now where we had cuts and had to remove some sidewalk pieces for water repairs. So those are, we've got a few more to do yet. Sanitary pump station maintenance. We've now got a contractor lined up. Middle of next month, we'll be doing some repairs on pump station number 4 on Pine Street. Arbutus Avenue sanitary, we had requested some more quotes after the last ones came in over budget, and we've got some promising numbers now. We're just, we're negotiating with somebody right now. Hopefully we'll have that figured out by the end of this week. The oil cleanup on Park Road, most of the work has been done. They just got to repair some sidewalk damage they did and a bit more cleanup on the town property side, and the culverts have been cleaned. The rest of the work is just repairing the deck and et cetera around the house there. Street sweeping ongoing. That's just whenever it's needed, we'll go out and do some sweeping. The crews were pretty much finished. Most of the paving we've done. We've got the King George, we got a little bit more work to do, but that'll be done in the fall. We'll leave that one until we can find some time. The new overflow parking lot we built at on Point Ideal Road seems to be working very well. I've spent quite a bit of time on the weekends and weekdays monitoring it, and we're getting anywhere from 75 to 110 cars parked in that parking lot during the weekend, and then whatever on Point Ideal Road and Saywell Park. And the 2-hour parking, it appears to be working pretty good in most places. Most people are abiding by the signs. A few I've spoke to, they don't care, and they said, just go ahead and ticket me, I'll pay it. So that's quite a few tickets have been issued. And the other thing, just a reminder to all the residents, try to keep sidewalks clean around in front of their properties. Most people are, but the ones that aren't, if you can really, we'd appreciate if you can clean up. There's a lot of branches and stuff sticking out, and some of that's a hazard to people that are walking by. they could be poked with tree branches or slipping on objects. So be very much appreciated if they could clean that up. And we're just still planning for other projects, whatever we can fit in this year. So just carrying on.
So one question to Jeff. So the people, the parking tickets that are being issued, are most of them at Saywell Park?
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Councillor McGonigal?
Thank you very much. First of all, thanks for a very wholesome report. Just a couple of things, if I may. There seems to be a misconception that mayor and council are the ones that are doing all the work and getting credit for it. I just want to assure everyone that our job finishes when we approve the budget and we leave it in the hands of our capable staff to do whatever improvements are needed. So although we'd like to take credit for the work that's done, it's not us that makes those decisions. So we thank you and the remainder of staff for that. Also, on the overflow parking at Point Ideal, one concern that I saw there was only a single access, and maybe there's some congestion problems for a lack of egress. So perhaps an in and out may be an option in the future if it does work out that way. So one of the concerns was on the drop off for the tubing bus was the lack of turnaround and access in there congestion wise. So just something to look forward to next year if we are tweaking that. Maybe something that could be accommodated.
Yeah, that's been brought up a couple of times, and we are monitoring that. We're and just trying to figure out where the best second location is going to be for it. So,
Okay, Mayor Day?
Yes, thank you. So I've been watching the parking very closely too. And what I know, one of the results I think we were after is getting a turnover in vehicles on the main street. And I've really noticed that that's the parking regulations are helping, and there's more empty spots available more often during the day. And that's really cool to know that, you know, it was a pretty simple plan, and that I think we got our signs in the right spot, and it's working for the most part. So I'm quite happy with that. So thank you for all your work you did on that. I know that I've had to field very few emails as well. There's a couple that were a little upset about it from the public, but you know, it's not hard to explain, you know, the strategy behind it, and it's working well. So thank you very much for that. And also thank you for staying on top of the boulevards and sidewalk issue, because it's the first time in a lot of years. That's been one of my pet peeves, and it's kind of amazing. You know, we led by example in a couple of spots, and everybody's pitching in and working on it. So pretty cool to see. So thanks.
welcome.
Councillor Sandu?
I think there's a preconceived notion that this parking is all year long, like the parking 2-hour parking limits. And I know local residents, a few have approached me asking that, you know, why are we having to pay in the fall and the winter and whatnot? So I think we should be clear that this 2-hour parking is seasonal, summer season, tourism season. Just so that our community residents are understanding that. And then when we'll announce when the end for the 2-hour parking will take place, just.
Yeah, no, it's for the busy summer months, and we haven't established exactly what date, but I'm thinking mid-September, but that will be announced in the near future.
I was thinking it might be good if we can coincide it with the opening and closing of the campsites. Our Lakeview campsite, perhaps. I think that starts normally in May or June. I think we were in June that we started opening up the campsites, and then they close in September. In May.
May long weekend.
Yeah, May weekend till September. So we could look at that. Councillor Austin?
Yeah, thank you. I was just going to ask, would you be removing the signs then each time, or covering them up so people aren't confused, because not everybody is going to be watching us on this broadcast. And I'm just wondering if, would you, because that's a bit of work for you, would it be easier just to cover them with I've seen places where they cover them with a black plastic bag or something. Is that an option or something?
Yeah, I don't know, the black bags, I don't think we want to go that route. It might look a little tacky, but we'll probably just remove them. It's not a lot of work. And we can always put something else there. Maybe the mayor and council's picture of mayor and council or something like that.
No, thanks.
Make them bulletproof. Joseph?
Yes, I wondered if the superintendent can give us an update on what's happening on River Road. Because we've had a few complaints on that, so I think an update would be appropriate.
So River Road, it's a part of a small subdivision development. That's why the road is being paved. And just so everybody's aware that all that work on River Road is the cost of the developer. Duncan Paving was in there today grading it, doing a final grade, and they're scheduled to pave it tomorrow. If all went well today, I see the end of the day they were still there, so hopefully they'll get it all done and paved tomorrow.
Any other questions for our superintendent? Nope. Go back. So then we'll move on to the water treatment plant update, please.
Water treatment plant, everything's going well there. We had our cooling unit for all our electrical equipment wasn't working, but we've got that up and running again. So other than that, everything's fine there.
Does anyone have any questions? I'm trying to think whether I saw it on a Facebook update or was it on one of our emails. It was quite interesting. Maybe some of you had seen it, where I think it was through UBC and they were doing water treatment to small First Nations. Did anybody see that anywhere? I'll have to find it. It was quite interesting. It was a small rural First Nations community that didn't have clean drinking water. And I think they partnered with, it's either SFU, but I think it's UBC, and they developed just a small little portable mini water treatment plant that's bringing them clean drinking water. And that was really good to see. And I think that they're going to hopefully use that as a prototype for a lot of the small rural communities. So I was really pleased to see that. So we will move on to your next report then, which is the June operations. I guess it's self-explanatory unless you wish to speak to it, Jazz.
Yeah, I was just going to touch on the UBC thing you were talking about. The partner is UBC. A few years ago, I was up in Cache Creek doing a system up there for the First Nations, and the engineer on site, he was a part of that program. They traveled all over the world and did some work, and they're developing the system you're talking about.
Yeah, it's really great that you don't have to have a huge treatment plant just to bring something to a small community.
Yeah.
Councillor Sandhu?
Just a question. We got our report yesterday with our water level, our lake level at 41%. I'm just wondering, is there a high usage of water right now in the town of Lake Cowichan, like an over amount being used, or is there monitoring of that? Yeah,
we have flow meters. We know exactly how much is going through the system every day. And the usage is not at any high level.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and then we'll go on to your, I guess that would be our Chief Administrative Officer. Joseph, did you want to speak on the watering restrictions?
Well, just that it came into effect, stage 3 came into effect on Friday. And I think we're just, for public information, we're looking at restrictions that would see water usage down to a minimum. Watering of plants and everything else should be avoided at this stage of the game, other than using the little, I guess, what do they call it? Little sprinkling systems that they have in place.
Mhm.
We've got to take every precaution to save our water supply.
And so on this one too, the banning of campfires is also mandatory now.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, I was quite surprised to see somebody with one the other night, so that's good to know that we're under restriction for both of them. So we'll move to Councillor Sandu.
I didn't notice, coming into Lake Cowichan, do we have our sign, like our water restrictions sign? I didn't notice it today when I drove through.
It just got missed.
The crew was asked to put it up. They might not have got around to it. They had some other important things that came up this morning, so.
Okay,
they
thank
had to
you.
They had to get those addressed.
So do we have a sign that just is the restrictions for watering, and is there also one for campfire, or we use the one on the outskirts?
On the highway, yes, for campfires on the highway.
Okay. Okay,
The fire department's got one too.
Mayor Day?
Thank you very much, but Councillor Sandu got to my question, so that's good.
Oh.
I'm happy. Hope to see that go up.
Okay, good.
Thanks.
Councillor McGonigal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I think it's nice to see in the first paragraph that all communities in the Cowichan Valley are adhering to the same watering restrictions now.
Yeah.
That was a long time coming. There was different areas that had different restrictions for a number of years. And now that it's all uniform, nobody can say that their neighbor is on a different watering restriction than their other neighbors. Everybody is on stage 3, and the limitations are shown in the table on page 2. So I can't fill my pool anymore. I guess I'll have to shower, short showers.
I think you're allowed to top it up.
Yeah, that was good because I know we used to get lots of questions, and it was Missachi Lake. Area F and I were different than Lake Cowichan. Burning bans were all different. So I'm glad that now everything is uniform across the board. So with no other questions, we'll go no new business. And notices of motions? None. We must have public relations items.
Must.
I would think that there must be something going on in Lake Cowichan. I think we'd like to extend a welcome also to in the business community to Lake Mercantile, our newest business down here on the block. I don't know if anyone knows of any more that I've missed, but Councillor McGonigal.
Well, first of all, I would like to wish Dr. Wilson all the best in his retirement. He has chosen to move on to better things on a motorcycle, I believe. So I wish him all the best in his retirement, and welcome his replacement, who has stated that he's looking to relocate into our community with some more small children for our schools. So look forward to that, and welcome to Lake Cowichan.
Wonderful.
That's good.
Mayor
I don't
Day?
know. Didn't know who it was.
Yeah, if we're going to talk about businesses, I don't think we mentioned that the new laundromat is open, and it does have a shower facility in there as well, if we haven't talked about that before. So that's good news for the town of Lake Cowichan as well.
And where would that be located?
It's right up by the Gas and Go and Jerry's, what am I going to call this? Dispensary?
Jerry's.
I don't know how to say this properly yet.
Is it?
Jerry's store.
Yeah, Jerry's store. Yeah, by the Gas and Go and Jerry's store and the Cowichan Pet Emporium. So
It's the old
it's right in the corner.
Gazette, the old Gazette building.
The old Gazette? Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect. I didn't know that. So it's great
Yeah.
to know. Pass the word to people.
I think they have washrooms in there as well. I think there is a washroom in there as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Haven't been in yet.
We better go.
We're changing fast in the community. Sometimes you don't always catch everything, so that's good to get updated. So we have a question period again, maximum of 3 minutes per speaker and maximum time allotted 15 minutes. So limited to items on the agenda. You may phone your questions in at 250-749-6681, or you can email to general@lakecowichan.ca, and we'll return at 5:33. Thank you.
One thing you guys might have missed, I'm not sure if it was brought up in the previous meeting or not, we do have another medical doctor in town too,
Ah,
and we should welcome him too.
right.
with that-
Unfortunately, I can't
With
remember his name.
Dr. Basili.
Yeah, he's working with Dr. Froese, yes.
Yes, yeah, wonderful doctor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
he came from Waterloo, Ontario. Yeah, and he loves Lake Cowichan, so hopefully he'll stay a while. So Bob the Mayor, question. Can you explain a little more on CBC News? So it says the provincial state of emergency has been declared in BC as wildfires continue to grow. So is that just the interior, or does that mean it's all of BC?
I just haven't read that yet, Lorna. So I'm gonna study it tonight and just see what's up. It's coming up all over my newsfeed here, I see. So I gotta dig in there and actually watch the broadcast later today.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
saw it and I was going provincial.
Yeah.
Usually if it's a provincial state of emergency, it's the
Yeah.
whole.
I think they're just putting an umbrella over the whole province and just more or less like raising the level of awareness is the goal. And yeah, we all need to watch out and be extra careful now.
Yeah.
So,
And I think
yeah.
their radio was also saying that everybody should have their evacuation plan in place,
Mhm.
grabbing full bags just in case, because it could happen here on the island too.
When
At,
they, oh,
oh,
sorry.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when they do declare a state of emergency, it opens up areas for people that can volunteer. Like when Gordon was in search and rescue and they had special times, there's people that can volunteer and get still paid by their work to go volunteer and fight fires or do things like that. So that helps with that, but it does have to come from the different government levels.
Yeah.
So
And
I
I think
thought
it
it would probably happen pretty quick.
I think it probably opens up a special bank account for funding for
Yeah.
emergencies as well.
Yes, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, are we ready?
Are we? Okay. So to our CAO, do we have any telephone calls or emails?
Nothing at all.
Perfect. Okay. So with that, we will ask for an adjournment, please. What, 10 minutes?
10 minutes, yeah.
Would that be sufficient? So we will return at 6:35. So looking for a motion to adjourn.
6:35, no, you meant.
Oh, five, yeah, add an hour, eh? Yeah.
5:45.
Yeah,
5:45.
5:45. Oh my gosh. And the doctor says he's cleared me. I'm okay.
Just one question. Do we have
Yeah.
to call Mr. Drinkwater to see if he can come on early?
I have asked him earlier.
Okay, so 5:45 then for, okay,
5:45.
He
I think
might be a
council-
bit late getting on, so.
well, we can hold, yeah.
I'll move adjournment, Madam Chair.